We're spending a full week on Oahu, Hawaii, and we're doing it without a rental car. We ride the bus to a jungle waterfall, to our favorite beach on the island, and all the way around to the North Shore.
We snorkel with a sea turtle, we swim at a beach that was in the Hunger Games, and we find one bowl of curry udon so good we go back to it 4 times.
We also walk straight into a street festival we didn't plan for, on a night that happens to be pretty important.
And even though this is a bus trip, we take exactly 2 rideshare rides on the island. We'll tell you why we needed both and why we don't regret either one.
This is our whole week, day by day. Come along with us.
This trip is our week on Oahu in June 2026. 1 hotel in Waikiki, no rental car, and the bus doing most of the work. We'll show you exactly which routes we take, what everything costs, what works, and what we'd change.
If you enjoy calm, real-world travel videos like this, please give it a like, hype it if you're feeling it, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest. A lot of you watch on a TV, so if that's you right now, you should be able to subscribe next to our channel name using your remote. It really helps us out, and we really appreciate you being here.
Off the plane, Hawaii feels familiar immediately. The air smells like Hawaii, the humidity is back, and the backlit Aloha sign on the old airport tower welcomes us in.
That sign works on me every single time.
One update if you've been here before. The rideshare pickup has moved from the upper floor down to the same level as baggage claim. We went to the old spot first, so you don't have to.
And here's rideshare number 1 of the trip. Normally, we'd take the bus into Waikiki, but we're about 5 hours behind schedule, and we want to get to the hotel and to dinner before the night gets away from us. Tonight, the cost is worth it. Waikiki feels warm, busy, and alive when we arrive. Lively without feeling overcrowded. We check into the Waikiki Circle Hotel, the round building right across from the beach. We drop the luggage and take a shortcut through the Hyatt over to the Marugame Udon at around 9:15 p.m. The line only stretches to the logo on the front of the building, which is about a 5-minute wait. We would wait much longer for this place.
We both get the large curry nikotama udon with fountain sodas. Rich Japanese curry, sweet savory beef, caramelized onions, a soft poached egg, and green onions over fresh udon.
The beef reminds us a little of Yoshinoya in Japan, which is probably one of the reasons it hits so well for us. It's warm, familiar, and filling, and it's exactly what we want for a first night back. Remember this dish. It's going to come up again.
So, a little sad we didn't get to swim today?
A little, but mostly glad we made it here at all. We know we want to swim at Waikiki first thing, especially because the full moon timing means the box jellyfish could become a problem later in the week.
Breakfast is at Eggs and Things, which is directly across the lobby from our hotel elevators. The convenience is nice, and we get 10% off with our hotel key. Make sure to get on the wait list before heading to the restaurant. While we were there, it was easy to do using the Yelp app on our phones. Our wait was about 30 minutes.
We came here last year to try the mochi waffles, and this time they're even better than I remember. I get them with fresh strawberries, Nutella, whipped cream, chocolate sauce, and chopped macadamia nuts. Crisp edges, chewy centers, and it leans more toward dessert than breakfast in the best possible way. This one made our replicate-worthy list last year and deserves to stay on. We'll put a link to the video where we replicate mochi waffles and mochi pancakes on an episode of Replicate Kitchen.
I get the island-style fried rice with Portuguese sausage, ham, fish cake, fresh veggies, and 2 over-hard eggs. I really like it, and I don't want to share, so we don't do a 50-50 split on today's breakfast. It's savory for me, sweet for Bo.
After breakfast, we head to our favorite spot on Waikiki Beach, right in front of the Royal Hawaiian, the Pink Hotel. The sand is smooth, there's a stretch without rocks that's great for floating, and it's shallow enough that we can stand even a little farther out.
We swim from about 8 to 9 a.m., and about 10 feet away, a sea turtle pokes its head up. Bo's been to Waikiki many times and has only ever seen turtles on the beach after sunset, so seeing one in the water this close feels special. Next up is Manoa Falls. We take bus 8 and then bus 5 from Waikiki toward the trail, and it's nice not having to pay for parking or think about where to put the car. The hike itself isn't too difficult, but it's slippery. The path is mostly smooth pebbles and rocks, and for about half the trail those rocks are coated in slick, milk chocolate colored mud. By the end, our shoes are coated in a thin layer. We take every step carefully. The best moments are when the dense forest opens up and you can see across the valley. It has that Jurassic Park and Hunger Games feeling, layers and layers of green stacked on each other. Vines, trees, cliffs, and damp shadows all at once.
At the top, the waterfall comes into view. It's tall and dramatic, and the scene around it is very much a tourist attraction. There's a line of at least 30 people waiting to take selfies in front of it.
Are we waiting 20 minutes for a photo that still won't put us right up next to the waterfall?
We are not. We take our selfie next to the line of people instead, which is probably just as good and much more memorable. The hike down is equal parts enjoying the scenery and trying not to slip.
By the time we finish, it's about 1:40 p.m. and breakfast was a long time ago. Here comes rideshare number 2, the last one of the trip. The bus to lunch would take more than an hour, and there's another 30 minutes before it even shows up. A Lyft gets us there in about 15 minutes for $10 each.
It feels like we're buying a full hour and a half of vacation for each of us for $20, and that's worth it.
Lunch is at Liliha Drive-In, a place we'd never heard of before. We love the mochiko chicken at Tin Roof on Maui, so we've been hunting for something that gives us that same feeling. Inside, the space is a little unusual, with potluck-style folding tables around the edge of the room. We weren't sure if it was counter service or table service until we asked. It's counter service.
We both order regular mochiko chicken plates with aloha juices, pineapple orange for me, and paso guava for Sean. And here's where we split. Mine is fine. The macaroni salad helps, and it pairs well with the rice and chicken.
I think the chicken is very dry, especially compared to Tin Roof. It's a lot of food and the flavor is there, but there's no sauce on it like there was at Tin Roof, and it's not a big win for me.
Overall, we'd say to skip. For us, it wasn't a new favorite, but I'm glad we tried it, and it makes me want to experiment with breading made from glutinous rice flour when we get home.
From there, it's about a 10-minute walk to Liliha Bakery for their famous Cocoa Puffs. We each get a Cocoa Puff, a chocolate puff, and a Dubai chocolate puff, plus one poi mochi donut to try.
The Cocoa Puff and the Dubai chocolate puff are tied for my favorite, and the Dubai one is one of those things that immediately makes sense the second you try it. Cocoa Puffs are replicate worthy, and we need to make these on an episode of Replicate Kitchen. The poi mochi donut is its own separate win. It's chewy, and the glaze reminds me of a slightly chewier version of the fresh Krispy Kreme glazed donut. This is replicate worthy too, and something we need to try to make as soon as possible on Replicate Kitchen.
Bus 13 takes us back to Waikiki. The ride feels a little long, but that's one of the quieter benefits of the bus. It forces a pause between places instead of letting the whole day blur together.
Golden hour changes the whole beach. The water is warmer, the colors are more vibrant, and we stay until just before sunset.
After showers and fresh clothes, neither of us want a full dinner, so we go to Magnolia Ice Cream and Treats at International Marketplace.
I only heard about Halo Halo this morning on YouTube. It looks like a strange combination, and this one comes with Magnolia's signature ube ice cream, crunchy rice cereal called piniping, smooth shaved ice, jackfruit, coconut gel, sugar palm fruit, coconut strings, sweet red bean, and plantain banana.
So, what's the verdict?
It's delicious, and the texture is what makes it work. Once everything mixes together, the fruit at the bottom firms up, and it reminds me a little of ice cream with gummy bears, one of my favorite ways to have ice cream. It's sweet, creamy, icy, chewy, and a little strange. This is replicate worthy, and something we need to try making on Replicate Kitchen someday.
This week we're not locked into much. Most mornings start with the question, what do we want to do today? Today's decision is between Waimea Bay on the North Shore or Kailua, and we don't feel like taking a long bus ride today. Kailua is our favorite beach on the island, so Kailua wins.
But breakfast comes first. We take bus 8 toward ʻAuana and head to Yogurt Story, a spot we'd seen on YouTube. It's in the former Like drive-in space, which gives the visit a little extra layer, even though we don't have our own history with the old diner.
From the outside, it looks like an ordinary strip mall restaurant, and inside it's much bigger than you'd expect. We didn't realize they use a Yelp waitlist, so we wait about 15 minutes. Make sure to join from the app before you arrive.
We're here for the ube pancakes, house-made Okinawan sweet potato pancakes with a purple ube coconut sauce. I order those. Sean orders the Kailua pig loco moco with fried rice, a brown gravy made with garlic, red wine, and mushroom, plus over medium eggs. We also get the unlimited iced coffee, which we don't usually do, and it turns out to be a good call. When the food arrives, we split both dishes 50-50, and that's definitely the right choice. The ube pancakes are delicious, and the color is almost otherworldly, like something from Star Wars or an imaginary feast from Hook. We can't tell if the purple is all natural from the sweet potato or helped along with a little bit of food coloring, but either way, it's striking, and the coconut sauce works with it.
The Kailua pig loco moco is also delicious. Smoky pork and the gravy pulls everything together. Upgrading to fried rice is also a very good decision, because fried rice for breakfast just makes sense. One sweet dish and one savory dish might be our ideal breakfast setup, and this becomes one more breakfast we can imagine trying to bring home for Replicate Kitchen.
From Moana, we catch bus 67 toward Kailua. The windows on this route are usually covered in hard water spots and blurry, which is frustrating when we want to film, but the view holds up anyway. There's something dramatic about going through the tunnel and popping out on the windward side. Everything suddenly feels more lush and more cinematic, like the island changed its personality.
We usually walk from town to the beach, but Google Maps shows bus 674 in a good position, and it only comes about once an hour, so we try it. It ends up being about 10 minutes late, so we probably could have walked most of the way by then, but it starts raining while we're on board, so we made the right call.
The bus drops us off near our usual go-to access point, through Kalama Beach Park. There are long stretches of privately owned land here, so public access points are important. Then the beach opens up the way Kailua does. There's a split in the clouds, and our stretch of sand stays dry the rest of the time we're here.
We put out the sand blanket, set down towels, and get in. The waves are more fun and a bit rougher than Waikiki. The sky clears, and the whole beach feels open. We swim from about 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m.
When we're ready to leave, Google Maps shows a return bus a few minutes away, so we hurry to the stop. Then the app flips and says the bus already came 6 minutes ago. We're pretty sure we would have seen it, so instead we walk about 20 minutes back to town, past beautiful houses and under tons of monkey pod trees. And it's hard to stay annoyed when that's the backup plan. If you're doing Kailua by bus, just build in the chance that the local shuttle route ghosts you.
Bus 67 takes us back toward town. We transfer near Aloha Tower to the W line, and the newer buses on that line are really nice. It's surprising how much the bus system has changed in just a year.
Back at the hotel, we rest for 30 or 40 minutes, then head right back out. We swim at our Royal Hawaiian spot from about 3:45 to 4:30 p.m. And after the rougher Kailua waves, Waikiki feels gentle and easy. 45 minutes ends up being perfect for the second swim of the day.
Then it's a quick shower and change because our craving for dinner is Marugame Udon. Yes, we go there again. The line can stretch around the corner. We want to beat everyone else who's having the same idea.
We both get the large curry nukatama again, and it may be our favorite dish on the island. The noodles are fresh, stretched, and cut while you wait in line, and the curry, the beef, the soft egg, and the green onions come together in a way that reminds us of everything we love about Japan. It still surprises me that we can get something this good in the United States. The alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m. and we have the usual vacation debate with ourselves. Should this be a relaxing trip, or should we get up and make a full adventure out of the day? Today feels like it should be an adventure day on the North Shore. We're also still watching the box jellyfish timing. They can show up on Oahu's south shores around 8 to 12 days after a full moon, and occasionally reach Kailua and Waikiki. We usually check the Waikiki Aquarium website before booking our trips, but forgot to do that this time. So far, no problems. Just mornings that keep being better than the weather forecast. By 7 a.m., we're out the door.
Breakfast is at McDonald's today because the egg, rice, and spam platter has become one of our go-to Hawaii breakfasts. It's a little bit of a tradition. They've downsized the rice over the years, but it still feels specific to being here. And we get it with fruit punch because mainland McDonald's doesn't usually have it. We take bus 2 toward downtown, past the state capitol and Ululani Palace, making it just in time for our connection.
From downtown, we switch to bus 60, going counterclockwise around the island to reach the North Shore. We've ridden around Oahu plenty of times, and we usually take it clockwise. Changing the direction keeps it from feeling like we're just going through the motions. Today also has a few stops we've never done before.
The ride up the windward side is long, but the Kamehameha Highway gives you so much of what we like about Oahu in one ride. Jungle, mountains, ocean, and long stretches where the island looks cinematic. Kualoa Ranch looks incredible even through dirty bus windows, which is a challenge for us when taking the bus. You can see the beauty. Filming it is almost impossible, so please bear with us a bit. Our first real stop is Kawela Bay Beach, somewhere we've never been. We had read that it was used as a filming location for the Arena Beach in the 75th Hunger Games, the third quarter quell, and that was enough to make it worth visiting.
When we get off the bus, we're not completely sure where to go. Google Maps points us at a road that lines up with a gap in a chain link fence. It looks like people might use it as a path, so we follow it. And I'll admit I'm a little nervous, because if we get blocked here, we're stuck waiting half an hour for the next bus. Then right after the fence line, there's a permanent sign with the map of the area. Instant relief that we're on the right track.
We pass a marked banyan tree on the way in, tall but without as many leaves as other banyans we've seen. The plaque says this one has appeared in the TV show Lost and in Pirates of the Caribbean. Then the beach opens up through the trees.
And my first thought is, how did we go so long without knowing about this place? Kawela Bay is postcard worthy in almost every way. The water, the curve of the beach, the quiet, the lack of crowds. No wonder it worked as the base for a full-circle arena beach in Hunger Games, even though they clearly reshaped the geography on screen. Now I need to rewatch it and see how much they changed and how they made that happen.
It's fun when movie places are real and visitable. Shortly after we arrive, 3 paddleboarders float past near shore and all stop to look down at something. It's a sea turtle poking its head up. Turtle number 1 of the day.
We spend about an hour here, and leaving feels too soon. But we've set ourselves a quiet little challenge to do this whole stretch in one day, so we keep moving.
The 11:45 a.m. bus takes us towards Sharks Cove, where we had planned to snorkel. We brought our snorkels and water shoes this time, but when we get there, the tide is very low. It's beautiful. The sky reflecting in the still tide pools makes a great photo, and it also brings back memories from our last visit here.
Sea urchins, sandals in the water, and little cuts on our hands, arms, feet, and legs from that sharp lava rock. Even better prepared this time, I don't want to repeat that. So Sharks Cove is a no for today. Then we find out there's another snorkel beach right nearby called 3 Tables. I don't know how I've never snorkeled here before.
Before heading to 3 Tables, we see a Seven Brothers burger food truck on the map. It's on the short walk to 3 Tables. Sometimes the day plans itself. We recently watched Ordinary Adventures on YouTube eat there, and since their taste usually lines up with ours, Bo orders the same burger Peter had.
The Paniolo burger. Single patty, bacon, cheese, onion rings, grilled pineapple, house sauce, and barbecue sauce. The pineapple mostly lands in the center bites, so it shows up like a nice surprise instead of taking over. The way all flavors come together is nice, and it's a delicious option.
I get the Tama Samoa, 2 patties, bacon, grilled pineapple, cheese, grilled onions, teriyaki sauce, and house sauce on a taro bun. It's really good and definitely messy. We also split large home fries, and we're not disappointed we got them.
The staff also hands us a handwritten note thanking us for coming in and wishing us safe travels. We don't know if they do that for everyone, but it feels personal and is appreciated. Then, a quick stop next door at Foodland grocery store for sodas, and we walk a few more minutes to 3 tables.
At 3 tables, the beach is crowded near the water opening but thins out fast. We load Bo's wet dry bag with anything we don't want stolen, take it with us, and get in. Almost immediately, fish.
That first sighting makes me happy because our detour worked. We skipped Shark's Cove, tried the neighboring beach, and found the fish. The reflection of the clouds in the water is a little gloomy at first, but clears in spots when the sun comes out.
And there are so many fish. Humu humu nuku nuku apua a, long-nosed butterfly fish, raccoon butterfly fish, blue-striped snapper, yellow tang, parrotfish, pennant butterfly fish, black triggerfish, and lots of needlefish.
Wow, you're pretty good at that. I'm pretty sure needlefish have been swimming right next to me all these years, and I just never realized how many there were. And the best surprise? A sea turtle on the other side of one of the tables. Turtle number 2 of the day.
Okay, real question. Better than snorkeling Maui?
Maui's water was clearer where we snorkeled, and 3 tables makes me miss that a little. But this helped Oahu win back any points it lost. I also love the underwater structure here, especially the overhangs. I'm not agile enough to dive down under them, but I'm impressed by the snorkelers who can casually disappear under a rock shelf and come back up like it's nothing.
If you're a beginner, comfortable snorkeler like us, 3 tables is approachable. You don't need it to be extreme to see beautiful things. And quick midpoint ask. If watching us figure this stuff out in real time is useful, a like and a hype help this video reach others. We really appreciate you watching our videos and sharing them with your friends and family.
Strange coincidence, but important note. Shortly after snorkeling today, a subscriber commented on our Maui video to warn us about using full face masks like this. We learned that some of these masks can create a risk of breathing back too much carbon dioxide and not getting enough fresh oxygen. So please check your exact mask before you travel, and consider using a traditional snorkel mask instead on your trip. From 3 tables, we pack up and walk about 5 minutes toward Waimea Bay, straight past the traffic that's backed up at a standstill. We get there faster on foot than anyone in a car. Then comes the reveal, and Waimea is calm.
Part of him is slightly let down, because jumping into big Waimea waves is one of his favorite things.
True, but any day at Waimea Bay is worth it. Last year, it rained our entire visit. Today, the sky is tropical blue, the sand is soft and warm, and it doesn't even feel humid. Coming in from the 3 table side also gives us a shortcut to the sand that works so well, we'll pair these stops together again on a future trip.
We don't even bother with the sand blanket this time. We float for about 45 minutes, rinse our feet at the foot showers, and head for the bus.
Then, on the way into Haleiwa, we can see the line at Matsumoto Shave Ice stretching down the street. We make the quick call to skip it. I really wanted it this trip, but I'm not in the mood to wait more than 30 minutes in a line, and riding the bus 2 more hours just for shave ice is not the best use of our time. We'll get our shave ice in another way, and the craving is going to matter later, I promise. From there, the buses treat us right. A few more stops on bus 60, then bus 52 picks us up almost immediately, and downtown, bus E pulls up right as we step off. Bus E drops us off directly in front of the Waikiki Circle. And after a long transit day, not having to walk the extra blocks is really nice. This might be the easiest long bus day we've ever had here.
Back at the hotel, we drop our things and get one more swim before sunset, this time in the Kuhio Beach portion of Waikiki, an area protected by long seawalls directly in front of the hotel instead of our usual spot. The convenience is great. The sand is a little rougher and it's almost too calm for us. our spot in front of the Royal Hawaiian is still the one. This would be a perfect spot to swim if you have small children with you.
The North Shore doesn't have somewhat more affordable hotels sitting right on the sand the way Waikiki does, so staying here lets us end a huge day with one more swim. Floating there, we think a bit more about our day. We saw 2 sea turtles today, plus the one earlier in the trip. I'm not saying turtles are a formal travel omen, but I consider them a good sign.
On the walk back, we catch a few minutes of a free hula story show about Pele, Hawaiian goddess of fire, lightning, wind, and volcanoes. It's one of those small public Waikiki moments that adds to an evening without any planning.
Today's plan is a Waikiki swim first, then a long ride out to Makaha Beach on the Leeward side. On the walk to our Royal Hawaiian spot, we notice jellyfish warning signs are up. We'd been watching the calendar for exactly this, so it isn't a full surprise. Mostly, it makes us grateful the signs didn't show up earlier in the week. We don't see any jellyfish ourselves, we just keep an eye out.
The swim is a good one, 9 to 9:45 a.m. The waves are more active than other mornings, and at our spot they seem to come from 2 directions, which makes the water less predictable and more fun. Bo keeps trying to find the pattern.
The jellyfish signs make it easier to decide on a leeward plan for the day, and the weather app predicts sun in Makaha all day. The leeward side of an island usually gets less rain, so it sounds like another positive reason to head that way.
We take the 10:37 a.m. bus 2L, which skips stops and gets us downtown faster. Then transfer at Baratania and Bishop to Bus C. The C runs a lot of the way on the freeway, which is nice after getting used to Oahu buses that make side quests through neighborhoods. This is our bus shortcut track from one side of the island to the other. The mountains out here have a lot of the same shapes as the windward side, but drier, almost like a scale model sprinkled with moss instead of covered in thick green, and they are still cinematic. The bus rolls through Nanakuli, Maili, and Waianae.
We get to Makaha around 12:35 p.m., right as it starts raining. The weather apps are still showing a 0% chance of rain while it's actively sprinkling on us, but that probably means it'll pass quickly, right? Rain here doesn't mean the day is ruined. We're here to get in the water anyway, and the sand blanket folds over our towels and backpacks to keep them dry.
Makaha is quiet compared to everywhere else we've been on this trip. Our half of the beach is nearly empty. The mountains around it are beautiful, and we both decide one of them looks a little like King Kong's head.
The waves are rolling and strong. Not gentle, but not too strong. We swim, lie in the sun when it comes back out, and repeat that a few times. The sand here is beautiful and fine.
And the sand comes home with him.
I spend the rest of the day quietly shedding sand down my legs until I finally shower it all off. Not the souvenir I planned on. Looking back, I wish we'd stayed another 30 minutes or an hour, but at that time, we're ready to move. And we're thinking about pizza all day, and we think we found another dining option that is unique to Oahu.
The 232 bus C takes us back, and surprisingly, the windows are clean. It makes a real difference both for filming and for general sightseeing. We'd been eyeing the Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat buffet in Liliha, mostly for the novelty and nostalgia. We looked more carefully at reviews and photos. It doesn't look like the buffet variety is that amazing. We decide, if we really want pizza, we should just order our own pizzas and get exactly what we want. And we can do that any day back at home. So we reroute to the downtown Marugame Udon instead.
Which is the dependable choice. The downtown location isn't nearly as busy as Waikiki. It just doesn't have a soda machine, but the food is identical. Large curry nikotama round 3, and it's just as good without the long line. At this point, it's one of those anchors of the whole trip. It would usually be considered boring to eat the same thing on repeat, but we're not lying when we say that we crave this place at least once a week back at home. Thursday, we sleep in until 7:30 a.m. and don't leave the room until 9:10, which counts as a slow morning for us. Before heading out, we reload our Holo bus passes. The daily fare cap is $7.50 as of June 2026, and that predictability is a big part of why Oahu without a rental car feels so doable for us. reload the card, check Google Maps, and let the bus system do most of the work.
In Kailua town, we wait for the local bus toward the beach, and it ghosts us again. But in the opposite direction it ghosted us in last time. The app says it arrived, and then 20 more minutes go by with no bus. So here's our new Kailua advice. Just plan on the walk from town. It's pleasant, we've done it plenty of times, and the local shuttle is a bonus if it happens to be there when you arrive.
We come in through the Kalama Beach Park access point, and the beach is doing its Kailua thing. The watercolor is right, the sky is blue, and the waves look like exactly what we came for. There's also a man o' war warning posted, which is a little deflating after traveling this far. Man o' war are linked to northeast trade winds and onshore winds on the island, and not to the moon cycle like box jellyfish. We spot a couple tiny ones along the sand, nothing in the water, we know the risk, and stay aware, especially when stepping over the waterline.
The conditions are too good to skip. The waves have enough push to be fun without being overwhelming, and we swim from 12:45 to 2:30, almost the whole time in the water. Kailua is still our favorite. When we're ready to go, we leave through beach access point 91A instead of backtracking, since we'd wandered down the beach anyway. In one way, out another.
The 334 bus 67 carries us back through the mountains, and we transfer to the W line at Ala Moana Boulevard and South Street. The connection runs about 10 minutes late, but works fine. And then, at 4:40 p.m., something important happens through the window. We spot the new Ululani's Waikiki location. The line is short, and we remember that we still haven't had shave ice this whole trip.
We pull the cord and hop off immediately. No discussion needed.
This is the payoff for skipping Matsumoto on Tuesday. I get a large with macadamia nut ice cream, mango, guava, calamansi, and a snow cap. I'd never heard of calamansi before. It's a hybrid citrus and is sharper than I expect, and it keeps the mango and guava from getting too sweet. The whole combination is delicious.
I get the Sunset Beach combination, passion orange, mango, and guava over macadamia nut ice cream. Fruity, familiar, and exactly what a Hawaii shave ice stop should taste like. Ululani's keeps its replicate-worthy status, and we need to recreate these back at the studio.
This satisfies the craving completely. The syrups, the ice texture, and the way the ice cream underneath turns into a real dessert. We walk the 10 or 15 minutes back to the hotel. Having so many meal and snack options nearby is one of the many reasons we like staying on Waikiki.
One more swim at our spot from 6 p.m. to just after 7. We don't like leaving much on the beach here because there are so many people and lots of theft, so we keep it minimal. Another good reason to choose a hotel near the beach. Shirts, flip-flops, towels, and waterproof phone case if you don't want to leave it in the room. It makes the swim easier because you're watching the water instead of your stuff.
The sky is mostly clear, so the sunset is simple but beautiful, and the water catches the light in a really nice way. This spot feels like our spot now. The sand, the shape of the waves, the view, ending a day in the water is hard to beat.
Dinner is a quick bus number 2 hop to Rainbow Drive-In, which is part of our Oahu routine even if it hasn't always fully delivered for us in past trips. I get the mixed plate with barbecue beef, boneless chicken, and mahi-mahi, all rice instead of macaroni salad, and I like it more than my last visit here.
I usually get mixed plates too, so tonight I try a different classic, the Rainbow Royal. 2 hamburger patties, cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, and their special yellow sauce on a white bun, plus chili tots that I didn't need, but I don't regret. And we each got a medium strawberry slush float with vanilla ice cream, which is a simple, fun dessert drink and a classic staple for us.
Redemption visit?
It's not replicate worthy, but yes, expectations and reality matched this time. Actually, the strawberry slush float with vanilla ice cream is definitely replicate worthy, so we should add that to the list. I think that's what keeps us coming back. Rainbow Drive-In stays on our Oahu list. Tomorrow has some plans I've been sitting on. We're hiking Diamond Head. We have a dinner reservation I set up with a very specific request. And there's one more surprise I kept secret until we got here. I bought us tickets to the new Cirque du Soleil show, ʻAuana. Friday is Sean's birthday, and the day will be full of variety. Breakfast, beach, Diamond Head, shave ice, another swim, a sunset dinner, a Cirque du Soleil show, and whatever Waikiki decides to become after dark. Breakfast is at Basalt. We've seen their charcoal pancakes on YouTube, and they felt like the right birthday breakfast. Visually fun and a little different. We order the charcoal buttermilk pancakes with guava strawberry sauce, ash whipped cream and berries, plus the Basalt breakfast with over-hard eggs, bacon, and Sidewinder crispy potatoes. The black pancakes are really good and worth trying at least once. Here's the honest part though. On their own, they mostly taste like normal pancakes. The guava strawberry sauce is what makes them special. It makes me think this idea needs to be pushed further someday, maybe as mochi pancakes if we try it at home for Replicate Kitchen. Our final thought is that the Basalt breakfast is a bit overpriced, but it's a memorable meal.
Our server Sharon is great, and this was a good way to kick off the day. These black pancakes are replicate worthy. A little bit for the novelty of them, but definitely because of that guava strawberry sauce.
Those pancakes were worth the price. After breakfast, it's time for a swim at our favorite Waikiki spot just after 10 a.m. After an hour, the routine that's fully formed by now kicks in. Swim, rinse off at the Royal Hawaiian Foot Showers, and walk back to the hotel. We pick up 2 waters at an ABC store to drink later, change into our shorts and hiking shoes, and the day shifts from beach mode into hike mode.
Getting to Diamond Head is easy. Bus 2L drops us between the crater and the community college, and we walk up the road and through the tunnel into the crater, which makes the whole thing feel epic, like the hike starts before the trail does.
This is Sean's first time hiking Diamond Head. I've done it before, and it's cool being inside the crater again after seeing it from all over Waikiki all week. A little context helps up here. As the story goes, the name came from British sailors in the 1800s who saw shiny calcite crystals on the crater and thought they'd found diamonds. The crater formed around 300,000 years ago, and the trail was originally built for military use, so soldiers could watch for ships approaching Honolulu.
The hike is manageable, but the heat makes it feel harder than the distance alone would suggest. We have sunscreen, water, and insect repellent, because we got eaten alive on a hike here on a previous trip, and we're not taking that risk again. The trail is more structured than a normal nature trail, with tunnels, stairs, lookouts, and sections carved from the stone. Dry and exposed, the complete opposite of Manoa Falls, which makes doing both on one trip more interesting.
The views make the climb worth it. From the top, we can see Waikiki, the ocean, the whole southern side of Oahu, and islands in the distance. Molokai, Lanai, Maui, Kaho'olawe, and even the Big Island, which surprises me because I'd only ever spotted Molokai from up here before. Was this a good birthday daytime plan?
It really was. It was active and specific to Oahu, and it leaves room for everything else coming up tonight.
After the hike, the next stop is something cold. Bus 2L drops us in Kapahulu near Shimazu Shave Ice, right next to Rainbow Drive-In. And this is our chance to try the giant local shave ice experience. The size stands out immediately. Shimazu is huge.
I get a large with vanilla ice cream, mango, lilikoi passion, and ramune. Bo gets a large with vanilla ice cream, melon bar, lilikoi passion, and guava.
The melon, lilikoi, and guava together taste tropical and candy-like. The vanilla ice cream underneath turns it into a full dessert. Shimazu feels different from Ululani's, and that's the fun of trying both. Ululani's runs like a busy chain now, not in a bad way, just more industrial. Shimazu is the oversized local shave ice stop we wanted to experience. Cold, sweet, and oversized is a very good combination after a hot hike, and it probably sneaks in some water we needed. And I'm choosing to classify this as a great way to rehydrate after a hike.
Back at the room, the air conditioning feels crisp, and we take a break because the day is not close to over. Then comes the debate: stay in and relax, or one more swim? It's our last full day. We know we'd regret skipping it.
So we walk back to our spot and swim from 4:45 to 5:30 p.m. The water is a little less clear, but still turquoise and calmer than yesterday. It was a good choice to add it to today's plan. Being in the water at Waikiki has a way of making the rest of the day feel less scattered, even with a dinner reservation and a showtime waiting for us.
Dinner is at Lulu's Waikiki, an open-air spot on the second floor above an ABC store near the zoo side of Waikiki, a corner of the neighborhood we hadn't really touched this trip. You might recognize this place from our mochi pancake breakfast in the Oahu video we made last year. We said we would make sure to request an ocean-facing counter seat next time we come here.
This is the reservation I mentioned earlier. I booked it about a week and a half ago on Open Table, requested ocean-facing counter seats for sunset, and noted it was Sean's birthday. When we arrive, they've saved exactly the seats I hoped for. Plus, there's a small happy birthday sign waiting, and later they bring Sean a free scoop of gelato.
And fortunately, nobody sings. Personal without being too much. Our server Lily keeps things moving, which is important tonight because we have a show after dinner.
We split everything 50-50 again. The Lulu Moko, which is a dressed-up loco moco with Wagyu beef, Kailua pork, over medium eggs, house-made gravy, grilled onions, green onions, and white rice. And the Beach Boy nachos, with fried in-house tortilla chips, cheddar, tomatoes, onions, jalapenos, black beans, cilantro, green onions, guacamole, sour cream, salsa, and Kailua pork.
The moko is rich and filling, and the Kailua pork makes the nachos feel more Hawaiian than regular nachos. One true plate dish and one shareable casual dish, plus unlimited refills on my ginger ale and Bo's Diet Coke after a full day of hiking, swimming, and walking. The view, the birthday note, the food, and the timing all land the way he planned it.
After dinner, we have to move quickly to the Outrigger Waikiki Beachcomber Hotel for the show. And the walk turns into something we did not plan at all when we first booked this trip. The Pan-Pacific Festival has taken over Kalakaua Avenue. Traffic is shut down, and the whole street is stages, performances, vendors, food, and people.
The walk becomes part of the experience instead of just the space between dinner and the show. It feels a little like Waikiki decided to throw me a street party.
We make it just after doors open at 7:30 p.m. and find our seats. This is one of the biggest planned events of the whole trip, and I kept the tickets a secret until we got to the island.
The show is ʻAuana, the new Cirque du Soleil production in Waikiki, and it starts at 8. We've seen quite a few Cirque shows in Las Vegas, so we have a real reference point, and this one lands somewhere in the middle of our list of favorites. It's not our absolute favorite Cirque show, but it's strong, and the Hawaii-specific storytelling makes it feel unique rather than like a generic Cirque show dropped into Hawaii.
We're much closer to the action than we usually are at Cirque shows, and that makes the acrobatics even more impressive. The Water Bowl act and the Wheel of Life stand out most for me, because those are two of the most memorable Cirque acts for me, and this show has both. There's also surfing-inspired movement, hula, aerial acts, and voyaging themes woven into the format. Everything blends better than I expected.
So where does it land for you overall?
It's right in the middle of my Cirque list, but high on our Oahu evening list. I feel like it rounds off the trip the way a good show night on a cruise balances out the food and the beach days. If you're visiting Oahu and want something special at night in Waikiki, we'd recommend it. And it works as an alternative to a traditional luau if that's not your thing. We paid for our own tickets, so that's our real opinion.
After the show, we walk back out into the festival, and the street is still going. We pass a Japanese marching band on one of the stages, and I have to stop because I did marching band in high school and this group is really good. They project so well for a band that size.
Then we pass the Honolulu Fukushima Bon Dance Club doing Bon Odori. People moving in a circle around a raised structure right in the middle of Kalakaua Avenue. It's open and communal, and it's really cool seeing something cultural and participatory happening in the middle of the street. Near the Moana Surfrider Hotel, there's even a double Dutch rope performance. Every few steps, something different is happening.
And then Bo spots a sugarcane juice vendor
with a huge pile of sugarcane sitting right next to the extractor. On our Maui trip earlier this year, I kept craving fresh cane juice and never got the chance to order it. So tonight is my chance, and I hurry over. I get the juice and a container of pineapple. The cane juice reminds me a little of fresh coconut juice, and the pineapple is a simple fruit snack for the end of a Hawaii night. Pineapple here is a must-do every time.
We get back to the room around 10 p.m. and everything we did finally catches up with us. Bo briefly considers one more Don Quixote run and wisely chooses sleep. And I had a great day. Breakfast, our favorite spot in the water on Waikiki, a Diamond Head hike, giant shave ice, a sunset dinner, a cirque show, and a street festival we didn't see coming. It was a birthday that could only happen exactly like this on Oahu.
Saturday morning, we wake up at 6:40 a.m., which feels natural by now.
Our spot in front of the Royal Hawaiian is better once the sun is high enough to warm it, so we hold off until 8:15, put on sunscreen, and head out to make the final swim count.
The water is beautiful as usual, good enough that leaving is the hard part. We swim for about an hour from 8:15 to 9:15 a.m., and it's exactly what we need before the travel home part of the day starts. Then one last rinse at the foot showers, swim, rinse, walk back. Simple, but repeated enough times this week that it's muscle memory now.
Packing is sad, but the beautiful view of Waikiki over our balcony is a good distraction. A little after 10 a.m., the King Kamehameha Celebration Floral Parade starts moving down Kalakaua Avenue. This was another thing we didn't plan the trip around. Instead of standing in the crowd on the street, we watched from our balcony while we finished packing.
We watch until about 11:45 a.m., then bring our bags down, check out, and leave the luggage in storage. This hotel has a late checkout at noon, and storing our bags makes it feel like we extended it even longer.
Lunch is not a debate. One last visit to Marugame Udon for one last large curry nikutama each. Round 4.
The beef, the noodles, and the curry all work exactly the way we want them to. One more time. Some trips have a dish that becomes the anchor, and this was ours. We tried a lot of new things this week, and this is the one we kept coming back to. It's the obvious final Waikiki meal, and it's a great one. Not the fanciest, not the newest, just the thing that became ours for the week.
Then, one final Don Quixote errand on bus 2. This time it's take-home focused. A couple Japanese drinks, a few boxes of Diamond Bakery Hawaiian shortbread cookies to share with family and friends back at home, and snacks for the plane.
Instead of heading straight to the airport, we go back into Waikiki. We still have a few hours, and we don't want the day to end early.
The last stop is International Marketplace.
The classic Mahalo Halo. Every bite changes a little, and that's still one of the most interesting things I ate all week. I'm glad the trip didn't end without a second one.
I keep it simple one more time with mint chocolate chip and coffee, which has officially become my Magnolia order. And then we get one more unexpected performance. The Japanese marching band from last night is playing on the outdoor performance stage at the mall, and their set makes the whole crowd light up. They look like they're having so much fun up there, and it makes us miss Japan. We stay for about 5 songs until they finish.
Then we wander the treehouse area, and for once I actually read the signs, and the history here is worth a minute. From the signs, we read that this all began as Waikiki Village in the late 1950s, created by Don Beach, one of the people who shaped tiki culture. and it was designed as a tropical escape with Polynesian-inspired architecture and shops built around the banyan tree. In the 1960s, it grew into the international marketplace with themed areas, a central bazaar, artisans, performances, luau, and rickshaws.
You should tell them about the clocks.
My favorite detail, Hawaiian time. Every clock on the property was intentionally set 7 minutes slow to match the more relaxed pace of the islands. I visited the old marketplace back in 2004 on my first trip to Hawaii, and I remember that it was quirky and so much more local than it is today, a bit like the farmer's market next to the Grove in Los Angeles. Standing in the modern version, I really miss the old one, but I also appreciate the air conditioning in the new shopping mall version we have today.
At 2:40 p.m., we pick up our bags, and here's a decision worth sharing. A rideshare to the airport is only about $28 before tip, which is pretty affordable and tempting. But we take the TheBus instead, partly to save the money and partly because we wanted to see how the new W line runs to the airport. It's much faster than the old Bus 20, and we get to the airport a bit early. The bus drops us off further away from the check-in desks than it used to be, but a free WikiWiki shuttle bus takes us the rest of the way, exactly where we need to be for our Delta Airlines flight. Somewhere over the Pacific, the cabin lights are dimmed and the trip is almost over. This morning we were swimming at Waikiki. Tonight we're flying home. We land just before 6 a.m., grab our bags, and take an Uber home to a full Sunday to catch up before work on Monday. So, we did the whole week without a rental car. The bus handled the jungle, the windward side, the north shore, the leeward side, Diamond Head, and the airport. All under the $7.50 daily cap per person.
And the 2 rideshare rides were the right calls too. One from the airport the night we landed behind schedule, and one Lyft after the Manoa hike that bought us back a full hour of vacation for about $20.
Who is this trip style worth it for? If you like one home base, flexible days, beach time, and food hunting, Oahu by bus works really well, and Waikiki is the right base for it. Skip this approach if your list is packed with faraway stops on a tight schedule, because the long routes eat up hours of what you might feel is precious travel time like we did after our hike. And you have to be okay with the occasional ghost bus.
What would we change? We'd hit Matsumoto early in the day instead of late. We'd join restaurant waitlists slightly earlier, and we'd plan on walking to Kailua Beach from town instead of gambling on the local bus. Everything else we'd mostly do again. We want to personally thank Peter and Kitra from Ordinary Adventures on YouTube for all their amazing recommendations and for all of their videos. We love their travel style and strongly recommend that you check out their videos if you haven't already.
We filmed a lot more than fits in one video, so deeper dives from this trip and others are coming to the channel. And if this Oahu week made you want more Hawaii, our Maui video should be your next watch. We went in February when whales are a headline, and that trip also includes the road to Hana, Haleakala volcano, and some of the clearest snorkeling we've had in Hawaii. We'll put the link in our description, and you can also find it on our channel by searching Maui on our channel page. Please subscribe so you can catch those when they're ready, and if you made it this far, thank you for spending this much of your day with us. It means a lot.
And please tell us in the comments what your own replicate-worthy Oahu moments are, from this video or from your own trips. If it's food, we'll try bringing it to Replicate Kitchen. The curry nukatama, the halo halo, the poi mochi donut, and the shave ice are already on our list.
ʻAuihu. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for joining us.